There are a few pieces of legislation coming up in this next parliamentary term that are of interest to members of the Institute of Export and International Trade and wider businesses. The Trade Australia and New Zealand Bill received parliamentary royal assent on the 23rd of March. This bill enables the ratification and implementation of the UK's free trade agreements with Australia and New Zealand. This paves the way for the countries to bring the agreement into force as soon as possible. However, there are a few steps left in order for the deal to be ratified, but this is likely to be in the next few months. The retained EU Law Reform and Revocation Bill is due to have its third reading in Parliament on the 27th of April, but this has potentially been deferred. It's been widely reported in the media that ministers are halting the progress of the bill in response to concerns over a rebellion in the House of Lords in the run-up to the local elections, which take place on the 4th of May. Conservative peers were said to be considering working with crossbench independents as well as Liberal Democrat and Labour counterparts on opposition to the bill, although the government is expected to make concessions. The Electronic Trade Documents Bill originated in the House of Lords and had its first reading in the Lords on the 12th of October last year. Since then, it has progressed through the legislative process and moved to the House of Commons. The bill had its first reading in the Commons on the 23rd of March. It is currently awaiting its second reading committee. Second readings of non-controversial bills can be debated in a committee in the Commons, although this is rare. If a bill passes through such a committee, its second reading and committal motions must still be agreed by the House in the chamber, but may be decided there without debate.
With Parliament back from recess next week, there's lots of interesting sessions taking place in the realm of international trade. On Tuesday, there is a Westminster Hall debate on Horizon Europe, a research and development programme funded by the European Commission. The programme aims to tackle climate change and cement the European Union's commitment to the UN's Sustainable Development Agenda for 2030. This will be particularly interesting following the recent visit of Secretary of State Michel Donnellan to meet with EU Commissioner Maria Gabriel last week to discuss a potential future cooperation with Horizon Europe. On Wednesday, the Winter Framework is set to be discussed again in the House of Lords. The witnesses include David Brown, who's President of the Ulster Farmers Union, and Stuart Anderson, who's the Head of Public Affairs at the Northern Ireland Chamber for Commerce and Industry, who are both set to present evidence. And finally, on Thursday, there's a general debate in the House of Commons on the role of international trade in geopolitics, which is being held by Darren Jones MP, the chair of the newly reformulated Business and Trade Committee.
As you've just heard, there's an awful lot going on in Parliament in relation to trade policy. If you'd like to keep an eye on further updates and hear more about trade policy more broadly, do visit www.export.org.uk. Thank you.